Hello survivors, welcome to a brand new Soulstone survivor video. Today we are going to be achieving Titan Hunt glory with the Elementalist. Now what I mean by that is, well, the Elementalist has one of the weakest starting skill sets in the game. What I mean by that is that if you take a look at weapon number 4 of his, he has the weakest. These skills compared to like every other character and also his own skills is probably one of the hardest skills to start off with in a hard Titan Hunt. So I'm going to show you a build that we can use. I'm going to be doing normal Titan Hunt because I tried a plus 10 and we got absolutely destroyed. So I'll show it to you on plus 0 and you guys can experiment, try and push it as far as you'd like. But I'm going to try and push as many vials as I can today with it and we'll see where we can go from there. So weapon expert to start with the 2 poison skills, reroll mastery, endless refill. We then got death's touch to ensure that we get more poison, divine legacy, advanced tactics for the brittle, and focused mounts. We've only got 4 skills. We are going to use skill chain in this and I don't want our ascension. It doesn't actually give us any bonuses besides for the additional slow burn, poison. There is dazed, colossal, things like that, but we don't need any of that. We're going to go straight into gaining buffs other ways using Titan Hunt. If we're playing Overlord Cycle or the Void Fields, we would keep the Ascension because that's a good way to get Colossal and Dazed and things like that in the build that we otherwise wouldn't get. I'm going to start with Midorahk so we can get that the poison spreads to an additional target using that passive. And you're going to see, so I really like how Outbreak works, where it shoots all of these projectiles out in an area around us, and that's going to help spread the poison to everything around us. It's going to help us get all of that good damage out there. The problem is that this has a really low cooldown already, 1.6 seconds, and it removes all poison from enemies that it hits. So the fact that it pierces, the fact that it removes all poison, it makes it very, very weak in the beginning of the game. So you're going to see that happen. And because of this, and because the Elementalist is really slow, doesn't have a lot of life, doesn't have a lot of armor or block or any of that juicy stuff that other characters get, and because we don't have an ascension that actually gives us bonuses to things like damage and so on and so forth, we're actually going to run poison with another typing, and that typing is going to be earth. So we're going to go damage over there. We're going to look for any earth skills in the beginning. We will obviously change them. The fact that we're getting all these burns and slows still is actually a bit of a problem, but we could keep the slow. We'll take 1 just so we can possibly in the future get ourselves the slow to disoriented, but we'll see where that goes. Void King will take fragility instead of wound. There are contemplation between the two of them, but I think that the fragility is going to be far more powerful for us, so it would be quite good to grab that from him. And then we don't have synergetic, but we are going to see quite a few of those earth to poison, poison to earths. But the main thing that we're looking for is actually the skill chain, so that we can get poison skills or the earth skills to occur more often. It doesn't really matter which one. What it is going to do is actually help with activating ball lightning more often, which means we're going to have even more poison activating all the time as well through that skill as well. Movement speed is important. We're not going to reroll too much. I'm going to take the damage to poison. Remember, these skills deal a percentage of the poison damage instantly. So the higher your poison damage, the more damage you're going to do. So increasing the damage of the skills, all of them, increasing the amount of poison stacks you apply, and increasing everything to do with poison. Doesn't matter what it is. Everything that says poison, just take it. It is going to be an overall DPS increase for the skill. So as much poison as humanly possible, doing things that we need to do. Okay, multicast, very important. A critical strike chance, we don't need the Leviathan. We'll grab a bit of HP over there. We'll start grabbing Merciless once we have a bit more crit, but because the skill doesn't have a base damage, we don't have to worry too much about the amount of crit that we have. Just need 100% crit chance for the crit poison on crit. So that's the only reason we'll end up going 100% crit. Otherwise, we're not going to go over it. Okay, we'll take 1 slow. We'll probably land up getting rid of it, but let's just use a couple of rerolls over here. We'll go to like 5. Looking for Earthquake. Nope, we didn't get any of them. So that's a bit of a problem over there. I mean, it's not really a problem, but it would have been much nicer if we were able to get it. Alright, so we don't need to pick up the other crystals yet. We do get another 10 levels, some block chance, more movement speed, more poison, cast frequency. We're not going to take any of the upgrades that don't have anything to do with the skills that we are not using. We get Earth to Nature. We get to increase our critical damage. I don't think that's really that necessary, so we're just going to go with the damage for poison instead. Increase the damage and some cast frequency. Now, unfortunately, we got super unlucky over here where the next couple of objectives are all +1s, but we should be fine. We'll go Aruanak next to get ourselves the poison to Dazed. And then I don't think exposed helps us much over here, so we don't need to grab exposed because contaminating cut does not do direct damage. So it doesn't help getting exposed on hit because it's not going to increase the damage of the contaminating cut. So at least it helps us with choices. At least it gives us a little bit of a difference in, you know, pattern hunting, because normally we would go straight Mesa hit. But now because we're not picking it up, we don't need to worry about that. There's our Earthquake. We'll grab that instead of Rolling Boulder. Increase the area of effect a bit for it. Grab ourselves another multicast over there. It helps for the contaminating cut. Another thing about these skills, if you guys have been watching the channel for a really long time, you'll know this. But if you're new to the channel, maybe you don't know this and you wonder how they work. Yes, they remove the stacks of poison, but they first also apply all the stacks of poison before removing them. So what's going to happen is the skill's going to apply poison, and then it's going to take those stacks into consideration for the damage calculation first. So really cool way to deal with it. It's really, really cool that the developers did it that way. And it just helps a lot for the damage. So you are actually able to do like a singular focus contamination cut and still do quite a decent amount of damage thanks to poison stacking, because it's always going to apply the poison first. But then you're going to need a whack ton of poison on hit or whatever the case may be. Okay, damage increase. Remember, the damage increase is going to increase the overall poison that it applies as well. Although maybe not, because it doesn't actually apply poison through any other way except for venomous, which deals a certain amount of poison regardless. So damage just increases the amount of brittle, which is fine. That works too. But damage on the poison skills helps increase the amount of poison that they are going to be applying, which means more damage. Also, we don't necessarily need to manually aim. We'll aim once we get a whack ton of poison on the boss, and then we can try and get all that poison to deal damage immediately. So you can take your time with things, you don't have to rush it. The more stacks of poison on the enemies, the more damage it's going to do. But as you can see, that's the point. We want to try and get as much of a green bar as possible. And then we need the Earth Shield for the healing because the Elementalist is just really weak. So that's where that comes in. So poison has a chance to spread to an additional target. It's an extra target. It just means that we're able to get more poison up and running throughout the round. We're also going to go for poison to Dazed. Look, I really don't know if it's... Actually, no, we're going to go Shattered. Because enemies' armor can be reduced into a negative, up to a negative 1000. And because we do actually, you know, all of that's taken into consideration, because armor is just flat damage or percentage damage reduction, we want to do more damage. So let's go grab Shattered, and that's going to help us there. The thing is, we don't necessarily need the Dazed. And then Mesa Hit has poison gets applied more frequently. We don't need the poison to be applied more frequently. We just need more damage from poison. So there's no real need for that. There's also no real need for Dazed unless I'm looking at the other skills to apply more damage. But we're trying to get... I mean, I don't know how 100% works with critical strike chance. I know that the initial hit can crit and then the tick damage crits, but I don't believe the non-damage based skills can crit, or whether or not they can. I will have to double check that, but as far as I know, skills like that, they don't, like Devastating Blow doesn't work with them because they don't crit. So it just makes sense that this works the same way. We do get Slow to Disarray, Disarray to Disoriented. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to work, but Disarray does increase our overall damage anyway, so that's a good one to pick up. And then we're just looking for Earth Shield. It's not showing up. There we go. Thank you. Finally. We can take, did we take a single slow before? Yes, we did. So we'll take one more, but that's going to be the end of the slows. We're not going to take any more of them, and we're going to just keep grabbing things like this. So area of effect's massive, but this cooldown reduction is also really, really big. And then we'll try to pick up some disarrays over as well if we can, but again, if we can't or don't get them, or if there's a poison upgrade instead of disarray, we'll pick up that poison. But this is just a good indicator. It shows you, like, look at the damage. It really doesn't do a lot of damage. So we do get our upgrade now, though. We got Nature to Earth. There's Nature to Earth again. So we do get a damage upgrade. We're going to just re-roll over here. There we go. A nice damage increase over there. Take the damage increase because that's going to be massive. And we get the Nature to Earth. That's going to help us skill chain quite a lot. So we're going to get Earth Shield up far more often. We're going to get our Lightning Orb up more often. And hopefully all of this helps us deal a lot more poison and a lot more damage. But we really need more poison. We're only getting to about 100 stacks max. So either we need a lot more damage or we just need a lot more poison. Or both. Okay, multicast the Earth skills, that's fine. I mean, it's like a slow battle to eventually just whittle down the enemy's HP, so... Okay, more poison, we'll grab that, grab a Disarray or two. Could be bad to actually get Disarray, to be honest, but... Because if you low roll all the time, you're going to be in a negative damage instead of positive. But I don't think it works that way anyway. It just keeps rolling the numbers. Against normal mobs, it's a very, very quick run. But it's just when we fight the bosses that it's really slow. So, more critical strike chance. Give me that poison on crit, please, game. It does help with the Earth Shield, the not the contamination, the outbreak. So, what is it called? Outbreak, yeah. Thought I had a double name like Outbreak Circle or something, but it's just Outbreak. So crit works with these three. Definitely makes a big difference. And then we definitely need that instant damage bonus to be much, much higher. So we're going to go and grab multicast. Grab the damage for the Outbreak, because that's going to increase the poison damage. So it goes from 6.5 to 6.9. Increase the damage of those. Increase the damage of the poison that we apply. Alright. Let's see if this boss round goes faster or slower. Grab ourselves some more levels, more movement speed. I think area of effect would also be pretty good here. So maybe going Brittle to area of effect, but I don't really want to use a Brittle to area. I like seeing the skills the way they are. But for obvious reasons, going for a Brittle to Colossal will be fantastic. So if you land up getting the treasure room, the goblin, then do go Brittle to Colossal after you've taken the poison spreading to multiple targets or the additional targets. But maybe we'll take it next, or maybe we'll take it last. Haven't really decided on it quite yet. Alright, that did go slightly faster than the first round, which is pretty good. We don't need the area there. We need the damage, but I'm looking for the skill chain. So there we go, damage, skill chain. Remember that damage is increasing it, so perfect. Yeah, we should start seeing some more critical hits apply poison, which I don't think we've seen one of yet. We just need 1 or 2 of them, because 50% chance to apply poison is much better than a 25% chance to apply it. Alright, we actually blocked an attack there, luckily, because I was standing still and never saw the red markers on the floor. There we go. Pick up the Soulstone, and we've got 1 more fight to go. Poison and poison. Beautiful. Alright, it's not a boss fight, so that's really good news for us. It always seems that this corner objective likes to be the little weird dinosaur objective. It's weird. Okay, cast frequency and some area of effect. Area of effect. I wonder if we should just get rid of expansive and take the other upgrades instead. Alright, this looks like it's going to be a very interesting battle. As you can see, at least our poison, the amount that we deal has increased. So we get to about 150 odd stacks, plus minus. So it is going up slowly, which is good.
The elements shift in my favor.
But sometimes it's not really about how many stacks you apply, but how much poison damage you do per stack in this case. So we need to try and increase that amount as much as possible. But there we go, pretty easy boss fight. We want to grab the Shattered on hit, that's going to increase our overall damage. And we can grab some damage for Earthquake. I mean, you'll notice Contamination Cut is going to have a very, very big upgrade to it. I do wonder if going for the area of effect is going to be a little bit more useful to us. So let's go and grab it and see what happens. Stat-wise, I have no idea what we can grab that's going to be good to increase our chances of dealing more damage. It's a very weird and wonderful one. I mean, we could go Disarray, the Disoriented, we could go for the Dazed. It helps with the other skills, so... maybe we will grab them. Okay, remember, bosses do have more life now, so we do need to take that into consideration. We are going to grab the cast frequency. That's pretty funny. We went and locked it and we got the exact same skill. So we got a double cast frequency upgrade over there. Multicast is a very big one as well. So when it comes down to the Divine Legacy upgrades, we can take the multicast with the damage and the skill chain as well. There's a damage increase, so 543%. Still very low. We need to work on that damage more. We'll have to use rerolls. We need that damage amount to be increased far more now. Damage for Outbreak. Alright, more poison. Again, we can just reroll a bit more. We're looking for damage, not the cast frequency. Multicast will have to suffice over there. Unfortunately, we don't have that many rerolls, so damage increase to Earthquake is also okay. At least the objectives get melted now, somehow. Okay, pick up all this beautiful XP. And there's another 3 down there in the corner. Some expansives good, damage, cast frequency. Do we still need... Yeah, let's get to at least 100% and then we'll remove the crit because we won't need it anymore. And our armor and block should also... We don't necessarily need it. I don't think we're at that point where things are going to one-shot us. We can always just gain more HP. And then we've got healing, so we don't have to worry about that. And then there's a +3 over here, so let's go grab that. I don't know if the Brittle to Colossals... I mean, it must be a good idea. It's going to be really good for the Earthquake. Ooh, Rotting. Okay, we'll take that. I mean, Rotting pretty much does what the skill already does for us. It just deals a percentage of the poison damage immediately.
Fragment secured. The balance shifts.
Alright, 9 levels. So we do need the damage. And I do want the multicast. So we'll take damage, we'll take multicast. We lost out on the skill chain, but it's not the end of the world. Getting those upgrades is far more important for us, so I feel like it's much better to have gotten them. Ooh. And yeah, you can actually see there is a bit of a bigger difference between now and when we first did the Midorahk fight. So slowly but surely you increase your damage, but the problem is it's really slow. If you did this versus other builds, I mean, you saw yesterday with the Samurai, even though we're playing a movement speed build, we were doing damage far quicker than what we currently are now. So we'll grab the Brittle to Colossal and we'll see where that takes us. We are going to have to lower the visuals, so we'll go to 40%. And then let's just pick up a Disoriented, I think, or Dazed. You know, let's just try it. I think the Dazed one will be fine because it is going to help the other skills. What we'll do is we'll do this, then we'll do the Void King, and then we'll do one more round where we take Disoriented, Disoriented or Dazed, and then we'll do the last round to see if they actually help us with the damage or not. So, we've already got one of those, we don't need more. Grab that, there's finally a damage increase for it. It's taken forever. 663% only. But at least having the whole screen as poison is definitely more fun than not. So that's cool as well. And we do have quite a lot of our poison lightning orbs occurring as well, which is definitely going to be increasing the damage. So a lot of that like poisonish cloud is the lightning orb occurring. So if we turn visuals up, it's even worse. But I think 40% is actually a pretty decent look to it. Alright, increase those. We actually get a legendary there. We can go for that. More poison. Guess more areas never hurt anyone. Actually, we don't need area. I don't need crit either. We're going to remove those now. Don't need you. We'll try and get to 100% and then we'll remove critical strike chance as well. But as you can see, everything is melting now, which is great. It does mean we don't have to... I mean, you can constantly see that they're getting poisoned now, which is fantastic. So definitely need the area of effect to keep up with the amount. So maybe start with the Brittle to poison, and then you'll be in a much better spot. So there's damage, there's skill chain as well. Grab both of them. Multicast, beautiful. We don't need the area. I'm not going to worry about that. We don't need the multicast here because we've got the legendary one. Don't need area. Crit, just to 100%. And we're going to get the Dazed.
A chest unguarded. Do not trust an easy prize. Progress. I hope the Titan is ready. Fragments.
Oh, that's beautiful.
The balance shifts.
Damage, beautiful. More damage, I will take that. Some more life and a double corrosive damage increase. A damage increase to earthquake is always good. And then some cast frequency. What is our skill chain at, actually? It's over there. 10% for earth to nature. And then 36% for nature to earth. See, we find doing it earth to nature because of our how long the cooldown for earth shield and that is. So it definitely helps us. So let's go poison to dazed first. So 50% to gain stacks. We grab another rotting and cast frequency. Like I mentioned, we're going to do the Void King. We'll grab the Disarray to disoriented. And then we'll see what happens with the final round, how much damage we actually do. So we'll grab the cast frequency, damage, movement speed, and dash from the corrupted Void Hunter. And then from the Void King, we will pick up the Fragility. I will double check if Fragility works on direct damage or if it's just all damage. If all damage, then Fragility is the best. If it doesn't work, then we'll grab Wound for more poison stacks. So we'll just double check. But otherwise, Wound will be far better for more of every other stack in the game that we're currently applying. So it just makes sense to grab Wound then. What I should have done is put damage numbers on, to be fair. So that we could see if the dazed was working. I mean, we could actually see if I go... I don't know if this is going to work very well, but let's just take a look here. So we've got damage. Do we need individual damage numbers? Probably. And then just look at the green numbers. So, I mean, we are critting. But that's not the contaminating cut. So, again, crit and crit damage is probably going to be very important. But how do I know if it's the contamination cut that's actually working or not? We don't. You'd have to do it in a single round. But yeah, so crit does work. Just not necessarily the way we want it to. Okay. More poison, more poison, more poison damage, more nature to earth, more poison. Like this. Damage. We don't need the expansive. Go for the damage. Multicast. Damage is better than the cast frequency. 850%. I wish I could get it far higher, like 2000% before we ended. I don't even think... we'll have to see. I have a very bad feeling about this. Alright, let's see what we can do to this corrupted Void Hunter. Damage and multicast is very good. We'll grab both of those. That is the final lethality that we needed, so we'll get rid of it. And then just grab all these damage upgrades, multicast. There we go, some beautiful poison increases. We're finally getting some damage increases to poison as well, which is going to make a big difference. I mean, you can see we are now dealing 1020% damage for our poison. So that's a huge increase, and it helps with the instant damage done. Right, we just put like a whole bunch of our... You can see that even there, we're getting hit, but as long as we are healing, which we are, we're in a safe space. So very good to take the Earth Shield. That's the reason why we took it as well. We might have to, though, remove our... There we go, damage. Remove our visibility even more just for the Void King. Alright, let's see how much damage we can do to him. If we do something... Oh no, it doesn't actually help. But that's a lot more damage we're doing to him than I thought we would do. Let me skip. Ooh, that hurt. We are going to have to be careful of his attacks, as you can see.
No, I am the king.
Area of effect, it's fine. It's not really what we want, but it's fine. We just need to be careful of that AoE on the floor. And his melee attack. That went a lot better than I thought I would. So, or I thought it would. Disoriented, no, let's just check fragility again. So increases all damage received by 4% for 6 seconds. So we will take the fragility over wound. We're going to go into here again. We're going to go grab the Disarray to Disoriented. And then we'll do one more round. So, you know, sit tight, relax. Let's see what our damage goes up to. It's not the end of the world either. We're just going to pick up all this juicy XP, get ourselves like maybe 20 free levels. It might be 15 only actually, but I mean we are high level already, so that's okay. Yep, 15. Grab the damage, grab the cast frequency for that. More rotting is beautiful to see. More disarrays, perfect. Grab a bit of armor as well. Multicast, relentless. Grab a multicast and the damage. Don't need the rotting there, unfortunately. Damage increase, cast frequency. So pretty good upgrades. 1000% damage on a 0.9 second cooldown. And I think the fragility is going to make a big difference to the build as well. Because we don't have it. So far so good. Well, that's the first time we've absolutely melted the bosses, and they are even stronger than they were before. So definitely a good choice to have gone for the fragility. And we'll pick up the XP at the very end. We're not too worried about whether we use it now or later. Finally, after 5 rounds, we finally get to a point where we're strong enough. What this shows us is that you need fragility in your builds, ladies and gentlemen. If you're looking to get a skill build or build that's going to take you really far in the game, you need that fragility, because fragility just increases that damage. Brittle, fragility, exposed, all of them increase the amount of damage that you deal to enemies. So it just makes sense. And then shattered also because of them increasing armor. So all of those 4 things you need. But we're going to see if Disoriented and that actually make a difference. So for now, try and keep your eyes on the damage numbers. We're looking at about... we get to about... Oh gosh, this is hard to tell actually. How do I even tell how much damage I was doing there? Okay, multicasting, more damage, beautiful. More poison. We'll go for the damage there. Damage applied, 2 poisons. I mean, does it have a cap to how much it's doing to the boss overall? Slowly goes up all the time. I mean, I guess that's just the health of the boss, but you could see it didn't really go up very, very quickly. So we'll have to try this and see. Let's go for the final round. Where does it take us? I think we can go for Philly Pox. I don't think it matters too much who we go for.
Everything here is hunted.
But let's keep the damage numbers on. And let's see if having Disoriented increases how much damage we do overall. I mean, we started off with a 2 billion hit there, so that was already a slight increase, I guess. I have no idea.
The elements align. Keep pushing.
It's not showing it as a crit number, though. Because the number would be like in that orangey color.
Progress. I hope the Titan is ready.
I don't think it does work with crits, but at least Disoriented does work on all the other skills, so it's not a waste. I don't know. I don't see it working.
The path unfolds, and the hunt continues.
Maybe just grabbing the cast frequency and damage from Broken would have been stronger.
The balance shifts. Void fragment contained. Soon, the sacred blood.
Alright, that one we can't do. Just wasted time, but that's okay. We nearly there. We nearly at the end.
The elements align. Keep pushing. Progress. I hope
I
the
do like when it spawns the objectives right where we were. I also like it when it's not the bosses.
The path unfolds, and the hunt continues. Void fragment contained. Soon, the sacred blood.
Final one has to be a boss fight, of course. Okay, more damage, critical strikes plus slow, it's fine. More damage and more damage. So 1158. We are close to another. I think that is. Yeah, it is. Okay, perfect. So we need the skill chain, but we also need the damage. Oh. I think I've been doing this wrong the whole time. Grab those two. There we go. We just got to make sure we keep the locks on and not make any mistakes there. Perfect. Grab a Disarray. And I have no idea what Felipox can give us, but I thought it would be fun to play with them. So we're gonna end it over here just because we can. You guys can push it further to see if you can go further, but I think I'm quite happy with 7 vial contaminating cut outbreak poison build. I think it's quite a fun little poison-ish build happening over here, you know? Actually, this is a good indication of how it just does no damage to the bosses right now. A good indication to stop. We actually, you know, having our skill tree on also makes things harder for us. Also, you never really have to worry about visuals as long as you keep moving. But I mean, there's a good indicator of what it looks like when you're not moving. But as long as you keep moving, you should be in a pretty good spot. Oh, those are damage over time. The guy's poisoning me as well. It's like, you can't be the only one who's allowed to poison. I will poison you as well. But that's not allowed. That's not allowed, Felipox. Don't do that, okay? And then Felipox would have given us cast frequency every time you hit an enemy with a nature spell. That could have been pretty good. Increased damage and max HP would have been what I would have grabbed though. So there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It has been really fun playing this one. It turned out to be a lot better than I thought it would. 9.6 trillion damage on the contaminating cut. Let's see how much damage we did with these. So nearly 1 trillion damage from Venomous, the poison alone, which is quite crazy. But there you have it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.